Alright, so welcome back everybody to Materwelon's Watermelon Empire, current population 217. And today I saw something incredibly interesting trending on Twitter. It's a clip taken from a recent TrainwrecksTV livestream where he talks about big streamers secretly viewbotting, a topic I've never even really thought about, but also one that could reveal some interesting hidden truths about the biggest streamers on Twitch. Now obviously I'm personally someone that spoke on Twitch culture and different Twitch live streamers quite a bit in the past, as I'm obviously very interested in the topic of live streaming as a whole, and TrainwrecksTV is also someone that's been on my radar for a long time, because he's been streaming on Twitch TV for even like an extremely long time, even back when it was still called Justin TV. Therefore, he has also been the subject of various controversies surrounding his channel and Twitch itself. Particularly, he was one of the most prominent gambling streamers on Twitch before Twitch banned gambling altogether, with gambling obviously being one of the most controversial subjects in Twitch culture as a whole. And since gambling had now been prohibited on Twitch, Trainwrecks decided to leave the platform after almost a decade of streaming on there to instead go and stream on a new live streaming platform called Kick. And he did that mainly because the platform allowed gambling and casino streams, and essentially almost immediately after Trainwrecks announced his platform switch, people discovered that this emerging site Kick had actually been created by the online casino company known as Stake. Stake obviously being, I think, the most popular one of these crypto online casino shady companies, as they've sponsored several big boxing events, you know, UFC fights, and they even got an exclusive sponsorship deal with Drake out of all people, which means they are basically a huge company right now, but they are also being criticized by all kinds of people for their shady business practices. So ever since people found out about Kick being created by Stake, a lot of casual viewers have been criticizing Trainwrecks by accusing him of essentially just streaming on Kick because he got paid to by Stake basically. Now Trainwrecks has been very combative on his live streams since, and now he fired back at all those still streaming on Twitch that are criticizing him by accusing them of botting their viewers and numbers.
And I'm under the impression, confidently, that in the top 100, at least 90 out of 100 are not only blatantly view botting, but we're talking massively view botting, because you can't tell at that point, right?
So now he's claiming out of the top 100 live streamers on Twitch, 90 of them are view botting. That would mean only 1 in 10 streamers actually has legit numbers. Now let's think about this for a second. At the time of this recording, the top streamers on Twitch all have between 30 and 15,000 live active viewers. Obviously, you have an outlier here with 300k viewers, but that usually only happens due to special events. Because I do believe that even the biggest streamers on Twitch, like Accuses, Asmongold, or the Minecraft SMP people, average at most around, I think, 80k live viewers, so not accounting for special event streams, the biggest streamers all have between 15k and 80k. Now Trainwrecks is saying that these numbers are massively artificially inflated by bots. But now this obviously raises the question, why would streamers bot their numbers? After all, on the surface you don't actually gain anything from using bots on Twitch, as the most important interactions that are gonna help your stream grow are donations in the forms of subs or cheers or activity in chat, and these cannot be properly recreated through the usage of bots. So that obviously leaves the question, what would someone like, for instance, Pokimane then even have to gain by inflating their view count by using a couple of thousand bots? To answer that question, we gotta understand how the Twitch economy works, right? So on YouTube, in order for your video to be seen by a lot of people, it needs to be boosted by the YouTube algorithm. Typically this can be achieved through usage of tags, striking thumbnails, or even just promoting it on the community tab and getting more people in, and obviously it can't be age restricted or controversial or stuff. On Twitch, however, there's no real algorithm that your success depends on, because if you go onto any category on Twitch, it will automatically just always show you the person with the most live active viewers first. So the idea would be, by using bots, a already large streamer can guarantee that they are the #1 listed person in any given category, and therefore they can generate an increasing influx of new viewers. And this could only be done by streamers that are already considered as one of the biggest, because obviously if random Joe Schmo with an average of 5 viewers decided to start up his stream and he suddenly has 20k people watching him, but only 3 people are typing in his chat, it would be very obvious that he botted his viewers and he would be banned rather quickly. Now, unfortunately, with these larger streamers detecting whether or not most of their viewers are bots or if they are real people, that's nearly impossible, because the majority of people are watching streams on Twitch on their computer or on their laptop device, and a lot of them will leave streams open in the background while doing something else, you know, in order to support your favorite streamers, you know, maybe you go AFK for a bit, or maybe you even like work at home and you gotta switch to another tab. Then some people, or like the majority of people, will leave the stream open, which in return is also the reason why the biggest streamers typically stream for 8 or more hours at a time, because unless they are doing some sort of special event, their viewership numbers will normally grow over time the longer they stream, because there's always gonna be an influx of new people through them being at the top of the categories, and on the other side, the people leaving, only half of them are actually leaving, the rest just goes AFK and or does something else while leaving the stream open. This is also why, for instance, if you're watching an XQC stream, you will only see like 5% of the total viewership base actually participate in chat, because the vast majority are just there to silently watch the content, and also like the biggest streamers can't constantly read 500 chat messages every 10 seconds, so obviously there's even less incentive for the average person to chat, because most likely somebody like XQC will not even see your message. Now the fundamental question here is, do these streamers actually artificially inflate their numbers? Because Trainwrecks is making a very bold claim here, and my personal opinion on this is, I don't think 9 out of 10 streamers are botting, because that would have been exposed already in my opinion. But it may very well be something like 2 out of 10 of the top streamers. The unfortunate thing here is, unless you have receipts that someone actually bought bots, like we for instance had with Deji a couple years ago when he got into his beef with Cabos. Unless we have that, then there is absolutely no way to determine whether or not a viewer that does not interact with the stream is a bot or not, unless we have some sort of inside information on that. Because there are a lot of bots on Twitch floating around, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they were planted there by their streamer on purpose. They might just be random bots, you know. So in my opinion, until there's some concrete evidence that somebody actually paid for bots and now has these bots in their stream, I will just not believe that most streamers are botting, especially not the ones that stream over 8 hours a day to a huge audience, because it will make no sense for them to bot their viewers. Now people that maybe go live for 2 hours every couple of days and then somehow have 20k viewers, I might be more suspicious of them, but like I said, unless I have clear evidence, I am not accusing anyone of anything here. I'm just reporting on what Trainwrecks claims. In my opinion, it's innocent until proven guilty. Now, Trainwrecks also went on to say this.
You know, for the longest time, I sat there thinking, you know, why are these streamers, you know, with either my viewership average or, you know, higher than me by 20, 30,000. Why are they sitting here like just so worried about me? Like, why am I hearing all these things behind the scenes, you know?
And I just want to briefly touch on that, because I feel like that might be a weaker argument to make. Just because your community in total has less people than someone else's community, that doesn't mean they can't inflict serious damage to other people's reputation, therefore making them aware of you as a person. And that's because some communities are more combative than others. I don't know what causes this exactly, to be fair, but there's just some creators who developed a fan base that will jump into any video critical of them and defend their favorite creator to the death. And there's just like other fan bases that basically barely even engage with other people besides their own creator, and therefore they won't be as loud. And I personally just believe that Trainwrecks is a very personality based streamer. You know, if you're watching a TrainwrecksTV stream, you're probably not watching for the gameplay. You're probably watching for him as a person, and he's also just been in the game for a very long time, and that's probably why he has a more loyal and combative community, and that obviously leads to him getting on other people's radar faster, and therefore they're extremely worried about him. But yeah, so overall, I think that most streamers aren't botting, at least like with the big ones, although I would be very much willing to change my mind if I was presented with new evidence. And yeah, that's basically it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to drop your opinion in the comments. Do you think people like XQC and Pokimane are botting their viewers, or are they not? Be sure to tell me, and yeah, leave a like on the video, follow me on Twitter. See ya.